guys? The Bench Buddies are back with our Week 4 NFL picks and preview. As always, I got my boy Ethan joining me here. But before we get into it, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're only 25 subscribers away from our giveaway of 200 subscribers. All you have to do is just hit that subscribe button to be entered. But before we get into our picks, we got to look at last week. Ethan taking a 2-game lead off of last week's picks, pretty much on fire through the whole 1 o'clock slate, and then kind of struggled earlier. But I went with some upset picks. Didn't really pan out for me. The Jets almost pulled it off for me. But Ethan, which one of these games was probably the biggest game that you saw?
Well, I think the biggest game was for the Phillies, and it really was a statement game. Not even close. Nobody knocks out the Titans the way that the Phillies did, and I thought that was really impressive for them.
For me, got to go with the Bengals beating the Chiefs yet again. Burrow's 3-0 in his career against Mahomes. And our Burrow and Mahomes, is that hit like the new Manning-Brady rivalry? It could develop into that just because it seems like both these teams are very dominant every year, and it seems like they're going to play each other at least once. So could that be Mahomes' kryptonite as well? But here's our guest picks. More than likely, we probably won't have anyone on because we can't find anyone because no one wants to be on. But if you want to be on, just let us know. Comment below. But we got to talk about the teams in the bye, and I'll start with my Packers. Obviously, you pretty much need to win out to even have a shot at the playoffs, but that is not looking too promising right now. The schedule doesn't really line up for that to happen either, but, looking towards the future, it's going to be interesting to see what they do there. And then I'll also talk about the Bears as well, who Packers still own. They're looking for next year already, and I think they would be kind of not dumb, but I think one of their first few picks, they do need to go get a receiver, 4 Fields, and some linemen as well. So Bears, Packers, more than likely, if they lose one more game, they're looking at the draft for next year.
Yep, I'm gonna say Washington football team. I want to talk about them because they really deserve it. They've been underrated all year. A tough tie to the Giants, but they're gonna have a shot in a couple weeks. I think it's week 15. To go back against the Giants and on Sunday Night Football. So that's going to be a good one. And they should make the playoffs if the NFC shapes up the way it has been recently.
And then we got to talk about last night's game. We got the Raiders. We both took them. Just complete blowing game. Up, what was it? 13 with 4 minutes to go. And typical Raiders, coming in the game super hot. 3 in a row. Rams have lost 6 in a row. Baker comes in midway through the first, does decent, and then fourth quarter, Baker just comes out and lights up the Raiders defense for, just all of a sudden. So the Rams got the victory there by 1. And, just when we thought the Raiders really had a shot at making a run to possibly squeak in the playoffs, more than likely, it's not looking too hot now because the AFC is loaded with top teams and their records. They do still have a shot. They got to win out essentially, but with that division, good luck.
Yeah, man, that game was awesome. Really, all throughout the game, it wasn't as interesting, but the ending, the 98-yard touchdown drive from the Rams and Baker Mayfield, that was really impressive. As for the Raiders, though, you gotta be more less conservative, in my opinion, to try to win that game because a touchdown loses the game, and we're prone to seeing it in today's NFL. So tough one for the Raiders. They do have to win out essentially because the Jets are sitting at 7-5, taking that last spot in the wild card.
Then we'll move to Sunday and talking about those Jets. They're going on the road to face Buffalo, and the Jets got the better of them earlier this season at home, but I don't think it's going to repeat here. Bills, we were talking about it. They're favored by 10, and they still haven't been playing their best football in the last few weeks. And I think at home, this is going to be a statement game for the Bills. And I like the Bills big here because Allen really needs to have a good game, not commit any turnovers because he is, I think, tied for second right now in interceptions thrown this year, which is a mind-boggling stat because no one talks about that for Josh Allen. They talk about, oh, he's so good throwing and running the ball, but not his mistakes. And I think that's going to be his kryptonite this year. If he can, somehow limit turnovers in the playoffs, and the Bills really do have a shot at a Super Bowl run.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Bills should win big. I mean, the last upset, you called it last time. The Jets beating the Bills. This time, roles are switched. The Bills are at home, and the Bills have been playing much better football. And as the Jets have been kind of scuffling a little bit as of late, I'm gonna take the Bills here. Definitely should win the game.
And then we got the Browns going on the road to the Bengals. Deshaun Watson needs to really have a good game compared to last week if they really want a shot at this.
Mhm.
And I don't think that's going to happen. The Bengals are hot right now, coming off a home victory against the Chiefs. They're going to keep rolling. Jamar is just getting healthier by the day, and Mixon is expected to play in this one. So they're going to be at full strength against the Browns team that, well, they're reeling for a win right now. And I don't think it's going to come. But hey, you never know. It is a divisional game. So they do mean more. And it seems like they're always closer than we think. But I still like the Bengals here.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I don't think they're on upset alert this week. Bengals just have looked very, very, very good the last few weeks, and I think they're going to continue on. I think the Bengals defense is going to get to Deshaun Watson, and it's not going to be as close of a game as a lot of people are thinking.
And then we got should be another Cowboys beatdown like it was on Sunday Night Football. We got the Texans going on there with the Cowboys, the worst team in the NFL, going against probably one of the hottest teams in the NFL. 17 and a half points is absurd for an NFL line. And I honestly think they might even cover. It's just that bad for the Texans. They're going with Davis Mills again. So they don't even know which quarterback they're going to put out there every week, it seems like. For the Cowboys, this is the best they've looked probably in a long time. A lot of people have said last year's team was really good too, but they sputtered in the playoffs, and more than likely Dallas is going to make the playoffs. But they got to win in the playoffs to really solidify that they are a good team.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think this is going to be very close, but hey, if it is close, then shame on the Cowboys for being inconsistent. I mean, 9-3 definitely should make the playoffs. That's not really what they're worrying about right now. It's more of who they're going to face and try not to get upset again in the playoffs like they did last year.
And then we got, surprisingly, both of us taking the Lions, and the Lions are favored at 5-7, and the Vikings are 10-2. Yes, the last time I saw a stat on it, the Lions were favored against a 10+ win team was 2011 against the Packers, last game of the year, and that was the Matt Flynn game. If you guys know what I'm talking about, just go look it up. He just absolutely went off the Packers backup and just tore up the Lions. I don't think that's going to happen this week because it's a must win for both of these teams. The Vikings need to stay in the running for the number one seed if they get a win here and a Philly loss. They do need to have a game advantage. So they're 2 games back for the number one seed essentially, but they can clinch the NFC North here with a win. They're just waiting on the Lions to lose essentially at this point. So I think it's going to have to wait one more week here with the Lions winning.
Yeah, I think this is a great matchup for the Lions. The defensive backs in Minnesota are kind of their weak spot, and I think the Lions' offense and the way that they move the ball down the field is really good. I think they're going to win it here, close. Hopefully, the Lions don't lion at the end of the game, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So Lions, close game, gonna get the win.
And then we'll go to the Eagles Giants, a game that means a lot more for the Giants than it does the Eagles. Giants have not been the same team in the last few weeks that we thought they would be. And, my power rankings, I said they're kind of fraudulent here. Kind of tying the Commanders was a good look for them because they would have lost that game 7-5, kind of struggling. You lose this one to Philly 7-6, and it's slowly going downhill. So this is a must win for the Giants, and I don't think they're going to do that at home. Philly's offense is too high flying, no pun intended. AJ Brown and Devonta Smith, Batman and Batman. I think they're going to have excellent games against these weak Giants secondary.
Yeah, definitely going with the Phillies as well. Giants have not looked the same as of late, and I think the Eagles are really going to take advantage of it. And I don't think it's going to be too close. 1 o'clock p.m. game in New York. I think the Eagles have no pressure. Giants playing with the pressure. I think it's not going to go good for the Giants.
And then we got your Steelers at home going against Tyler Huntley and the Ravens. And I do like the Steelers in this one. I think, the defense is going to really affect Tyler Huntley and how he plays. He's off-brand Lamar, essentially. TJ Watt should have a good game. And Minka, I think this is a game where he kind of really steps up and makes a difference. Pickett, maybe he has one of his better games of the year too. So I really like how this team is gelling as we go through the season. A very intriguing team to watch because possibly they could be the team that squeaks in the playoff if they get hot, just like the Raiders we thought they could. So if they win this game, then hey, you can't count out those Steelers.
Yeah, I mean those are really nice words from you, man. I really appreciate that. I agree with you though. I mean, 5-7, they have a shot. If they become 6-7, Jets end up losing. They're a game back from basically all the teams in the hunt are all game back at this point. So it really comes down to the next 5 weeks and strength of schedule. And I think the Steelers have the schedule to where they can squeak in possibly. They got the Falcons, the Panthers, the Ravens again. Always play the Ravens tough. But we got to focus on this game right here. So Tyler Huntley, I don't think he's gonna have a great game. I think he's obviously serviceable, but the Steelers always have to seem to find a way to beat the Ravens quarterbacks. So knocking on wood, and I'm going with the Steelers.
And then we got the Jaguars and Titans. And I thought this game would have been better than anticipated, but after last week's showing from the Jaguars, they still are struggling at some points of the game. And the Titans, well, they just got blown out too to Philly. And I think at home, Titans really need a redemption game here, and I think they're going to do it. Derrick Henry hasn't really been himself for the last 2 weeks, and the Jaguars have a very weak rush defense. So expect Henry to have a heavy workload and have a touchdown or two.
Titans are going to be really angry this week, and I think they're going to easily get this W. Jaguars, I mean, they're not going away yet, but this is just not a good matchup for the Titans. And I think the Titans are going to win this one.
Then moving over to 4 o'clock, we got the Chiefs going on the road to the Broncos. And I think this one will be not closer, but as a lower scoring game than I think anticipated. I'm not taking the under just yet, but the Chiefs could have put up 31, or they could put up 20 and win 20-7 or something, just because the Broncos do have a very good defense. They just don't get any help from Russell Wilson and his offense. But I gotta like the Chiefs here on the road. Obviously, you can't bet against Mahomes right now, unless you're me last week and should have took the Bengals. But hey, you never know. This week, I think it's a redemption game for them as well to stay in the AFC, hunt for the 1 seed. They got to win this game and move on.
I think the Bengals are the only team that is valid where you could bet on them, and especially in the AFC. I mean, maybe the Bills, but other than that, I don't think so. Chiefs should win this one big if they can get their offense rolling again, which would be really nice for all the fantasy owners of Kelsey and Mahomes, Pacheco. Even he's been going crazy. That'd be really good for us as a fantasy owner, and I think they're gonna do it this week against really good, really solid defense for the Broncos, but just can't hold on to the ball, can't move the ball. So that's really what's going to hurt them. And I don't think they have much of a shot in this game.
And then our first disagreement of the week and only disagreement of the week, we got Tampa going on the road to San Francisco. And I think this is a Brady game where he just really shows the young Bucks how to play. Brock Purdy's obviously in line for his first career start, Mr. Irrelevant. And, they just still have all their weapons. They're healthy besides the quarterback position, but it's going to matter in this one. Brady, we saw him show life down 13 with 3 minutes to go and get a win last week. I don't think it's going to be the same thing. I think they're going to win in a close game, but it won't be decided on a game-winning drive by Brady. I think it'll be the defense that steps up and makes the big stop.
Yeah, and I really don't think it's going to matter too much, Jimmy G being gone, because Brock Purdy, man, he's going to be the MVP of the year, man. No, I'm just kidding. But that Niners defense and the weapons that they have, definitely better than the Buccaneers' weapons and defense. So I'm going to go with the Niners here. I think it's going to be close, obviously. Brady doesn't really get blown out, but it's going to be a low-scoring game because the Bucs already can't move the ball. And now they're going against the best defense in the league. It's going to be tough sledding out there for Tom Brady. He's gonna have a tough one. Niners are going to win it, though.
Then we should be a big blowout, I think. You got Geno Smith, possibly. He's questionable and popped up on the injury report yesterday with shoulder injury. Nothing too serious. I don't think everyone's freaking out about it. So he should be good to go on Sunday. And if he does, then he's going to have to air it out because the running back room is a big question mark right now. Kenneth Walker, he might not play. Travis Homer, DJ Dallas, the Tony Jones, I think that's his name, or something Jones Jr., something, whatever. They're going to have to pull some guys out of somewhere, maybe the parking lot to carry the ball a few times. So that kind of is concerning. I think that's why the line is only 3.5 right now, but I would still take it. I think one of the running backs will have a good game because it seems like they always do. And Seattle, they just find ways to win this year. and they get to 8-5 and those Niners lose, like I think, then they're tied in that NFC West race.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely like the Seahawks in this one. Better team, 3.5 point favorites at home. Definitely going to be able to run the ball very effectively against this Panthers defense. Doesn't matter. I mean, it does matter if Kenneth Walker plays because that dude's rookie of the year. He's a stud. But I do think I agree with you there that running backs are going to have a good game no matter what in Seattle. So uh, definitely watch out for whoever's the running back for Seattle, and then DK and Tyler Lockett obviously are going to be good targets for Geno if he plays this week.
Then moving over to Sunday Night Football, I'm surprised that both of us are taking the Chargers here. The Chargers really need a win to stay in the playoff picture, and the Dolphins need a win as well to stay in that AFC East race. Which way you look at it, I'm going with the Chargers here. I think they need to win more, and I think this is a game where Herbert finally has all his weapons. Mike Williams and Keenan Allen have only played under 50 snaps together this year, and they are a big part of that offense when they're on the field together. And they added Gerald Everett, and I think he's been able to space the field as well. So if all three of these guys are healthy and playing, then the Chargers offense is going to be tough to stop, not to mention Austin Eckler out of the backfield. If they can all play, they're all healthy. I expect Herbert to have his first big week against the Dolphins team that has been susceptible of giving up some big weeks to some quarterbacks. But the Dolphins' perspective, Tua, is he going to play? He's questionable, but he should be fine to start. And Tyreek Hill obviously is on pace to break the receiving record, which I think he could do and have a big game in this one as well.
Yeah, this is as close to a must-win game I think as you can get for the Chargers. If they drop this game, go down to 6-7, they're in the same spot as all the wild card teams in the AFC. And you know how the Chargers do; they're going to lose another game down the stretch. They shouldn't lose, and they're going to be kicked out of the playoffs. That's just what it seems like they always do. But if they win this game, they really could set the tone, get some momentum carrying into the next few weeks and then the season. That's really why I'm taking the Chargers here. I think backs against the wall, Herbert's going to find a solution here, and that offense is going to get rolling. And I think the defense is good enough to stop Miami, at least hold them to more field goals and touchdowns. So 52.5 might be a little high.
And then we got the Patriots going on the road to face the Cardinals on Monday Night Football. Should be a good game. Both these teams need a win, just like the other game. But this one means more for the Patriots after last week's performance against the Bills. They need a rebranding here, and so do the Cardinals. Coming out of the bye week, how is this team going to prepare for a good Patriots defense? And James Conner and DeAndre Hopkins are going to have to be the key factors here if they want to win this game. Those two guys have been carrying the chunk of the offense, and it's going to have to continue. Kyler Murray, who knows how he's doing right now with Call of Duty being released, maybe he's still playing some video games, not doing enough film study against this Patriots defense. And I think the defense is going to really show the Cardinals kind of why they are a top defense in the league this year. But don't forget about Ramondre Stevenson out of the backfield for the Patriots. The Cardinals are going to have a tough time slowing him down.
Yeah, and those factors that you just said are the reasons why I'm taking the Patriots. That defense, they got the ability to stop you and just really shut down the Cardinals. And then the run game will run right with that, and it'll be nice and smooth. And I think the Patriots are going to win it. Close game. Cardinals do have Marquise Brown. They got their weapons back. Marquise Brown, D-Hop, Rondale Moore. They do have weapons, but I just think the Patriots will be able to stop them, and with a lack of scheming for the Arizona Cardinals.
That's going to be it for our video this week. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button to be entered in our giveaway at 200 subscribers, and come back next week to see how we did and our picks for next week as well. But until the next time, the Bench Buddies are out.